Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 18th. We're just going to jump right in here, Capricorn, and we are going to see... you can't make this up. You have this Life is Better Together card. Of course you do, Capricorn. You always get these cards of teamwork, right? So there you go. That just continues for you, Capricorn. I definitely feel... it'd be a great time for you to work together with other people. I feel like you're very attractive at this time as well, Capricorn. You have the Empress here, but I feel kind of like that is your energy, which is nice. It could say that you're kind of like attracting a person into your life, even if you don't love. I kind of feel good about this because you have the Ace of Wands right next to it. And so it could say that your ideas are very attractive. It's like we're always trying to, we're basically always trying to sell something to somebody, right? And so if like you have ideas for business or work or anything, this could be really good for getting, positive attention on those things. You have this Life is Better Together card. It says seek assistance from your community, connect with family, friends, or others who will support you. It can be as simple as making a phone call. So there you go. Anything you can do to work together with other people, especially, what I feel here is that you have the Hierophant, the King of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. I feel like this Ten of Swords is saying, especially if you feel like you've kind of reached the end, like if there's, if you're working on a project or business or even a relationship and you feel like there's nowhere to go, I feel like there are people that can kind of breathe new life into something here. And I see this here, Ten of Swords, Strength card to the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is like a brand spanking new beginning usually. There's a castle in the background that is crumbling on the Ace of Wands. But I kind of feel like I wouldn't really call it a second chance, but I feel like you could be kind of revitalizing something or breathing new life into something that you've been working on, especially if it's a project or a business. For some of you, it could be a relationship that just needs a little bit more, spice, razzle dazzle, something. So if you're in a relationship, you could be spicing things up here, and that could be breathing new life into the relationship, which would be good. But for the most part, I feel like this is something you're working on. You even have the King of Cups. I do feel like there could be love coming in for you, obviously, if you want it. I just noticed the bottom of this clarifying deck, you have the Empress as well, which is interesting, but you have the Empress in your reading. So I feel like someone is attracted to you. Could be a water sign, could be any sign. Again, everybody has been getting the King of Cups lately, and it makes perfect sense to me because, to me, the King of Cups would be very attractive at this time. And again, it does not, any gender, right? I don't attach gender to my cards in these general readings, and it could be any sign as well. I think that the King of Cups is just an energy, and the King of Cups, it doesn't really matter what is going on around him, what's going on in the world. He's perfectly emotionally stable, and again, with the things that are going on in the world, I think it makes perfect sense that people would be attracted to kind of like someone who is very grounding, right? Which the King of Cups, even though it's a water sign, he kind of has like this grounding element to him because he is emotionally stable, right? And next you have the Hierophant. So it could be marriage. Some of you could be thinking about marriage or desiring marriage. But the Hierophant can also represent mastery. He has 3 levels to his crown and his staff here, and they represent initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery. So again, you have this card that says life is better together. It's like sometimes to get to the next level of something, we have to learn from someone else. Pretty obvious, right? So I feel like learning at this time, especially if you're trying to get to a whole other level in your business or in your career or something you're working on, I would be definitely learning from another person. Next, you have this Eagle card. The Eagle card in this deck here, this is the Tarot of the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle, and it's kind of like a card of like seeing very far. Eagles can see very far because they fly very high, but they can't see all the way around the curve of the earth, right? It's like there's only so far that they can see. And so it kind of represents like surprises coming up in the future. But good surprises. And I do feel like there could be pleasant surprises based off of what we have here. You have the Empress, the Strength card, and the Temperance card showing up here. The Empress, I feel, could be a lot of abundance that is coming in for you for sure. Like I said, I feel like either you it could be you and something that you're doing is very attractive to other people. Like I said, if you're working on a project or a business, I kind of feel like this could be almost like the packaging, like how you present it. especially with that Ace of Wands, I feel like your hard work is kind of like paying off here with that Ace of Wands. So if you're working on any projects or businesses, I would be focusing on how it appears, because I'm getting something here about the appearance that's just popping into my head. And I feel like that could be the most important thing for you with the Empress. The Empress, of course, is a really good card for abundance and making something abundant. So I do feel that there is a lot of abundance coming in for you with this Empress energy. I'm also getting like intuition as well. She has this planchette over here, like from a Ouija board right there. And it can kind of represent her intuitive side. It can represent the fact that, that she is very intuitive. On top of that, she represents quality over quantity as well. She is wearing clothing that is meant to look very heavy. It's meant to look like something of great quality. And sometimes I feel that if we're working on a project or a business, sometimes I feel like we try to overdo it. We try to, over deliver. I'm a big fan of over delivering, right? But I think sometimes we can over deliver, and actually takes away from the quality of something that we're doing. So I feel like it would be better if you're working on a project or a business to focus on the quality and not so much the quantity of the work. It's popping into my head. So it might be for like one of you, right? Next, you have this Strength card. Strength is like a daily practice. It is something that we have to work on or work towards every single day. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be kind of working towards like taming your inner beast or your inner demons. That lion represents her inner voice, like telling her she can or can't do something and all that other stuff. So I kind of feel like this is saying that you need to work on taming your inner demon or your inner voice. Another card that really tells me you're going to be getting a lot of attention in the near future. She has her hands in that lion's mouth, and the hands in the lion's mouth represent a lot of attention because, she is kind of doing something that most people wouldn't do, right? Most people would not stick their hands in a lion's mouth. So it kind of represents showing off, and there is definitely something about this reading that is saying to me that the way that you present something is very important. And it could be yourself, it could be a project, and it doesn't even have to be in love. It could be in business, it could be for work purposes, but there's something about the way that you present yourself here. It could also be something like if you're trying to get a job, it could be like your resume. It's like maybe the way that it looks isn't right. I don't know. It's popping into my head. So it's like you might want to change the way it looks. You might want to change, if you're trying to get a job and you've been using your resume and it's not working, maybe you need to add something to it. Maybe there's something that's missing. I would be looking at those things here, especially if you're like trying to get a job. You even have the Temperance card. Temperance literally says something needs to change. He is pouring water back and forth between those two cups, trying to turn water into wine, but it's a card of transformation. And I'm getting like literal transformation. I feel like something needs to transform here, and because it's gonna make all the difference in the world. I literally feel that like maybe you have a business, maybe it's not doing very well, but maybe it's the way that it appears, and by changing it, it's gonna make all the difference in the world, right? So I kind of feel like that's what you need to look at here with this reading. Next, you have this December card, and you have this Yoke card. It says feeling tied down or frustrated. I do feel there could be a change in December, but I don't think it's saying that you're going to be stuck till December here with this energy. I want to see what this next card is as well. Yeah, you have this this Bull card. It says plenty of material things on it. And, sorry, I'm choking. With the Empress card, you definitely could be increasing your material items or material goods. My thing with that Yoke card is we have Uranus and Taurus, and people are not going to want to feel like tied down. People are not going to want to feel like they are stuck to an area or to a place or to a job or to a relationship, just because of the energy. So, I think if there are things that happen that make you feel like you can't be free, whatever that means something different to everyone, then you're probably going to try to remove yourself from that situation. You have the Ace of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Justice card in this row. I mean, the Ace of Wands is my favorite card in the deck. To me, the reason I say it's my favorite thing is because sometimes it's like just the one thing we need. to be successful. Sometimes it's like the one thing we need to set ourselves free. Sometimes it's just that one thing we need to get started on something new. It's kind of like the spark of life. It is like that initial spark of something. And I kind of get that feeling for you here, where it's like you could be getting that initial spark of an idea, a new relationship, a new business. And I feel like it's just like that one thing you need. The King of Wands, he is like literally holding on to the Ace of Wands. Like, look at that wand. It looks almost identical to the Ace of Wands. And the King of Wands says to me that you need to nurture something into existence. To me, he is like the true father in the tarot. To me, he really, really takes care of something. So if he has a new beginning, he really gives it everything he got. He really gives it everything he's got, is what I meant to say. And so I feel like for a lot of you, like, this is like, he really creates a perfect environment to raise a new thing, whatever it is. Could be a new relationship, new business, new work, new anything. And so he really takes care of it. He's also very bold, very assertive, and he really kind of knows how to work things. So, I feel that's the energy that you will be embracing. You also have the Justice card here. Justice is about working on what's important, and I keep talking about the 80-20 rule. It's because of all the energy that went through Capricorn over the past several years. A lot of planets have moved through Capricorn. A lot of big planets have moved through Capricorn. Pluto's still in Capricorn. It's like, all this energy, to me, all the Pluto plus everything else that's moved through Capricorn recently is all about like the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is we get 80% of our results from 20% of the work that we do. And Capricorn wants us to be efficient. I always say this, that Capricorn to me is all about efficiency. If there are things that are not efficient, Capricorn wants to get rid of those things, right? Why do you think that, it's like, listen to any astrologer who talks about the past few years and the next few years, about how they see like revolution and things like that happening. Why? Because government isn't efficient. Regardless of how you feel about government, I think we can all agree everything that the government touches turns to, poopy. Let's put it that way. So I feel for the most part that we're going to see the breakdown of structure. We see the breakdown of structure right here. The castle is falling right here, right above my finger. So literally, and we're going to have a beautiful new beginning. So it's like, this is a good thing. Is it a little scary? Maybe. But will there be scary things to happen? Maybe. But will we all be fine and end up in a much better place? I believe so. So, that's all I care about. And what I would say here is that I feel like that you could be making things more efficient in your own life. People keep asking me, like, what do I need to do? I'm like, well, just make things better. Make things better in your own life. Make things more efficient in your own life. Then it's going to give permission to other people to do the same thing. Strength card. Strength card is people seeing you doing something that requires strength, and then they do it. It's like inspirational. And the Ace of Wands is a card of inspiration. So I like where this is going, and this looks good to me. So part 2 is linked up in the description down below.